Hello, welcome to the sixth module, not fifth module. Unfortunately, my ring light is broken, which is really annoying. So it might be back to the corner again for a while. I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy a new one just yet. I think I'm gonna leave it for now and then buy one later on down the line when I'm at home and like I'll need it more. Because right now with the light and stuff like that, I usually don't need it too much because there's so many like stronger lights that I can kind of point in my face or face myself towards and it still works. So anyway, just because the lighting's bad in half the video. So this is the 4-week long module and we got the brief for it quite late yesterday I think, and then we went over the brief today and I'm definitely excited for it, but also at the same time I'm a little bit nervous. Just because I really have to kind of make sure that the work I have is good for this one. So essentially the brief is, originally we were going to, for that meeting that we were supposed to have that we didn't end up having, the point of that was to present our character or our character's design, and then the class as a whole would like pick which design out of the group would be chosen to use. However, they've decided this time to have it where it's just our own character, which like isn't a bad thing at all. I'm completely fine with that, but also at the same time I'm a bit like sad that we're not going to be able to actually see everyone's work and like all sort of stuff, but is what it is. I suppose we'll see everyone's designs in their own animation, so that's perfectly fine. So right now we were just going over the basic principles, the 12 principles? Yeah, like the 12 principles of animation. We're doing a bouncing ball one, which I have done before, but looking back at it, like they were both I did 2 different ones and they're both like very bad. They're not good at all. But yeah, we're going to be doing that one. So my plan is, because the lecturer said that we were able to do the basic one because that's all you need for the brief, but you can go on and do like extra stuff, and there are people doing extra stuff, and I do kind of want to do an extra thing on top of it. Not necessarily just to like be like, oh I can do extra stuff, but just mainly because I do think that it's like, I kind of want to give it more of a go than just like a bouncing ball. so I kind of have a bit of a choice because we can use other programs to animate if we want to, but the tutorial we just had was like for Photoshop, and she did say that like Photoshop is kind of quite close to a lot of the animation software that we use within Dundee itself, or in the animation side of the university. So I'm kind of a bit like I could stick with it because I've never animated on Procreate, but if I animate on Procreate it's a lot easier to transfer around in terms of like actually bringing the physical thing around and being able to do it while in studio, instead of having it where I'm like, okay, I've brought let's say the video of the animation that I have so far on my iPad, but I can't do anything in class because I don't have a computer and my computer's back of the flat. So it's I'm a little bit up in the air as to which one I'm actually going to use. I'm thinking I'll do the Photoshop one first, then I might try it out on Procreate and see if I'm happier doing stuff on that, if I'm not happy, if I prefer to do it on the computer, I don't know. But yeah, so today was just literally going over the brief and doing a quick tutorial on how to animate on Photoshop, which is perfectly fine. It lasted pretty much the whole day as well, but there were definitely like a fair amount of questions as well. I didn't really have too many, and a lot of the ones I did have ended up getting answered like pretty quickly anyway, so it was fairly good. And also the brief as well, I kind of prefer these briefs in a way where it's like, okay, do this thing in this week, do this thing in this week, do that thing in that week. I kind of like that. And because it's a 4-week project, basically the first week is just the bouncing ball, because obviously today was literally mainly just talking about it, and arguably we have one kind of 8-hour day. Like yeah, we basically have one 8-hour day to do it, so in terms of what's actually like our school week, in terms of like when we're actually supposed to be in and when we're supposed to actually be doing work. So we have the ball animation presentations at the end, and then I think the next week, start of the next week, is another presentation thing where we present our characters, I think. I'll have to check, because that's the week on week 2 where we kind of edit our character designs and basically make it more suitable for actually animating it, I believe, and doing any like of the feedback that we had. Then I think on the 3rd week we get given like, I don't quite know, I can't remember off the top of my head, I think it was like some structure for the animation or like a place or whatever, so when it's put together it looks all similar. Because I mean the original intention was like, I think it was probably supposed to be something where it would kind of flow more, but it would be different people animating the same like small scene, which makes sense. And I'm not entirely sure why they're not just picking one to choose to animate. I don't know. But yeah, we're all doing our own things, so we'll see how that all goes. But I think the plan for tonight is I need to go to Tesco tonight to get stuff because I was away at home this weekend, so I didn't really have a lot of stuff. I have some meals already anyway because I just took some leftovers from stuff that mum made, which she was like, oh, this will do 2 meals. It basically does 4. So I have to kind of plan out my meal a little bit because I want to try and make sure that I have a lot of stuff covered for this week. So then, I don't know, go shopping. Just try and like plan out when I actually need to go shopping a bit more, I suppose. Then my plan is I'm going to go and try and finish off this ball bouncing thing. Possibly try and maybe do it on Procreate as well and see how those go. My plan is I'm going to basically take that into an MP4 and then just download it onto my iPad so I can just play it as an MP4 and then get whatever feedback, and then I can change it when I come back from that day's studio. And then hopefully, also if I have any ideas for anything extra that I want to do or whatever, I can actually show that as well. But hopefully at that point I'll kind of maybe have a better idea of like what I want to do for the actual final animation, because again, I feel like there's benefits and negatives to like both sides of things, because I don't know obviously if I'm doing, because I could technically use my laptop, but it's a very old laptop and it's just Photoshop does not agree with it. I don't even know if I think it just does have the most updated version of Photoshop. It might not, I'm not sure, but it just doesn't agree with it, so I'd rather use my PC, which obviously I'm not logging in and out of DJCAD. Also, they do have Macs in DJCAD, however they're in Media Labs and they could be taken up by classes, so it's not the best. I think, I don't 100% know, but I'm pretty sure that when you get into second year and kind of beyond, like you get your own workspace, you get your own kind of computer to work at least when you're in classes. Hopefully with classes that'd be grand as well. I mean, you do a lot of computer work, so I'd be kind of surprised if we don't get that. But yeah, just because of this project and because there isn't any like specific general foundation computer room, it's mainly just like a kind of free-for-all for the computer room, so it's not the best. I mean, arguably there is the library, but I don't think there's too many up there in the DJCAD library. There is definitely a lot more in the main library, and it's not too far away, but it's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, I could either go to the library or go home. Like I could probably get information at the start, go home, work on it for a bit, walk back up, get like the feedback for the last like 15 minutes or something, and then you know what I mean, like it's not an ideal situation. So that's basically it for today. Just gonna be working on stuff. I will probably show it to you tomorrow when I film after studio, so I'll see you later. Alright, okay. Hello, so just been into studio, mainly just been looking at, oh god, my iPad's battery has gone down a lot. I think animating on Procreate takes the battery down a ton. I think my plan is going to be, I'm going to show most of my stuff on this whenever I'm in studio, take notes for obviously anything that needs changing, but I'm mainly going to animate on Photoshop for the actual thing, because I don't really know how to do backgrounds and stuff like that with Procreate, so I'm fine with just doing line work, but other than that it's a little annoying. So this is the one that I have for Photoshop. So obviously I know that the volume changes a lot and I need to like actually go in and organize it and stuff like that as well, but that's what I'm probably going to do tonight to kind of get it sorted out and have that one finished off. Then I went into Procreate and I just did one in Procreate. This one's obviously a lot more cleaned up and stuff. I think I just need to make sure and check I have everything where I want it and all that stuff, but I think this one's pretty much finished off. I don't know if I really want to do anything as of right now with it, because I think so far everything's looking fine. I think I'm maybe just going to make sure and check my volumes towards the end again, because I think it starts to shrink a bit as well. Then I've also done this one, which isn't fully finished quite yet. I'm thinking of possibly adding a bit more of a swing that way and then a kind of more halt to the end of it, but there's this spider guy. Don't get me wrong. The reason I'm not just like putting it up here or whatever is because can't be saving a separate thing to just show when I could just show you the finished thing once it's done. So that's why I have it on here. So basically my plan I don't want to do it quite tonight. I think I'd rather get the Photoshop one kind of sorted out a little bit more before I start it. But I'm basically going to look at animation-y stuff and start looking at like what I could do with the bouncing ball, experimenting with all that sort of stuff just in Sketchbook and showing my ideas that way. And then my plan is, if I want to do something, I can do something on Procreate, or I might do it onto Photoshop instead and try and like get used to that a bit more. So then when it comes to actually animating the final one, I'm a little bit more familiar. Then once my Sketchbook stuff is done, I think I'm going to go ahead and look at possibly animating animal ears just in general, because the character design does have animal ears and stuff, so I'm thinking of possibly doing that and just like looking at it and experimenting with that a little bit. But I might do that over the weekend. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it for Friday, which is obviously the time that we have to go ahead and show this stuff, because I might be spending a little bit of time this week kind of editing videos and stuff just to try and get some of the next model stuff sorted. But I might also be doing prints as well, because I've got so many to do for Decon, which is literally in almost a month. So I've got a lot to do for that as well. But yeah, I think for tonight it's mainly just going to be the Photoshop stuff, and then I'll see what I do tomorrow. I'll see you later. Okay. Hello. So it's been a bit. So yesterday I didn't have anything to do. Well, there wasn't any like studio or anything, so I literally just worked on a print because I'm fairly happy with where I am for the animations. So I've mostly got that print done. I think I literally just need to work on the background. So once that's done, I think I'll have about 3 or 4 prints finished, maybe 5 now, finished, ready to actually get printed for Decon, because that is coming up. But I think my plan is literally going to be, I'm just going to get things printed at the start of that week to come literally like either next day or 2 days or whatever, so it comes that week, and then have everything ready and then possibly just quickly organize it really. Which reminds me, I also need to figure out the racking. I need to do that. I'm gonna contact my friend and get that sorted. Yeah, so today we had a lecture, watched a lecture. It's kind of art history right now, and the first few was a lot of stuff I knew about. This one, not as much stuff I knew about, but I know because I'm doing animation stuff, I'm kind of a bit like, I'd rather learn about animation. I'd rather do like an animation lecture thing. I think it would be cool if we had maybe the first 7 weeks as kind of like art history stuff, and then when it came to the last 4-week block, we get separate lectures on each of our studies, so we're like learning about stuff that like lectures that we get if we were in that department. You know what I mean? I think that could be cool. I might suggest that, and I don't know if that's gonna quite go over well, because I know it's probably just gonna be, that's too much work. But so we went to Waterstones. I didn't really have a plan of like buying anything necessarily. I was mainly just gonna look around at stuff, and we didn't really get anything, but we got boba. I got this fruit one that has like a bunch of different fruits in it as well. I'm mostly right at the bottom of it, so I think my plan is going to be these oranges. Really kind of get in the way and getting all the rest of the fruit. So I think I'm going to just start taking out some of the bigger pieces, eating them separately, because I've got a plate with me as well. Just put it onto there and organize it. I also, you can see it just vaguely there, unfortunately my necklace broke, which really sucks. I can fix it. I'm just going to probably elongate the string just a little bit more, so it's kind of got like maybe a few more centimeters onto it, so it might not come fully round my neck, because right now it kind of does sit like this, you know what I mean? It's still got like a looseness to it, but it's not like it is against my neck, so I might shorten it and then I can just tighten it obviously with this extra bit at the end. So it's fine, I can do it. There has been at least 5 of the kind of pearls have come off of it, but that should be an easy fix. So I think my plan for tonight now is I'm going to eat the rest of this and just watch Fall Guys for some reason, because I've just been watching it. Then I'm going to continue on with my animations. I finished off the Photoshop one from the end of the last clip, finished off that one, so I'm happy with where that one is, and my plan is I'm going to finish off my spider one, get that fully finished. I might go on to do a little cat ears one, I'm not sure, maybe. I might do another one with like cat ears and stuff, but I'm not sure whether to leave it for now and do it next week when we're like looking at the redesign of the characters, or not. So I think I might leave it. I might have a look at doing it, but I might not do it. I'm also thinking as well, have I said this? I think I've said it before, but I think I'm going to use Procreate for like little sketches and stuff like that, and little animations that I want to do where I want to test something out that's just going to be line work. Then for the actual animation I'll do it on Photoshop, because that is, I know the layers a lot better. I don't really know how to do like background stuff in Procreate. I don't really know how you layer it. I can try and find out, but also at the same time, I don't know, I feel like I should get back onto using my actual proper tablet. But then again, in summer my plan is to get an actual proper Apple Pencil, so I'll be able to use sensitivity on this. Well, I can't remember what I was going to say, but I think I covered up pretty much everything for what I'm going to do. I also need to do a bunch of meal prep tonight, but then that should be me done for pretty much a week for like meals and stuff. So I will see you guys probably tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a Teams call that happens all day, and I think it's going to be us showing what we've done essentially, and I think the majority of people are doing like 2 to 3 animations, so yeah. Yeah. Hello. Okay, so I don't know if you've seen it, but I did record a little bit of my presentation for like my 3 little animations that I did. I could have probably done more, I pushed it more, but I'm also trying to balance getting prints done as well, because like I said previously, I spent an entire day doing a print, so I'm trying to balance it as much as possible, and I've already done more than what's actually required of us, which is 1 bouncing ball animation. And I think the majority of people have done maybe 1 or 2 bouncing balls, trying out a couple different programs if they can, and 1 that's kind of a little bit fancier. Some people have done a few more fancier ones, but I'm also kind of aware of the fact that when it comes to the final presentation of things, I don't know if we're gonna have a limit to the amount we can actually put into the presentation, or a limit on how much gigabytes for the total like amount of videos we have. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing, because they do have like a limit on what your PDF can be, and if we're doing a PDF and videos, it's because PDF won't play like videos, so I'm not sure. But actually I'll just put them up over here. Okay, so the first one was just like a Photoshop one quickly, and then second one was Procreate. That was going kind of faster, and I prefer the interface on Photoshop where you can actually see like a timeline and have stuff on different levels. I prefer that a lot. It's also similar to the stuff that we'll be using in second year. If I get them in second year, we'll see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But it'll be similar to stuff that we would be using in second year. So I do kind of want to get used to it. And also I think, like I said in my presentation as well, like I find Procreate is good for line art stuff, but I don't know about like colouring in and adding all that other extra stuff on top of it. I don't quite know if that's really the best. Oh yeah, and then there was the spider one. I know it's not the best for the spider one, but I just wanted to add something interesting and different than just like a bouncing ball, and I didn't really want to do just the bouncing ball again. Like, so I did the pendulum one instead. I might later on go on to do another animation. I'm possibly thinking about looking at cat's ears, because the character Puka has cat's ears, so I was thinking of possibly doing a little animation of just like kind of rotoscope or reference. I'm not entirely sure if I'll do rotoscope. It'll probably be easier to do rotoscope, but at the same time, I'm not sure. So that's something I'll probably do maybe over the weekend, but at the same time I've also got all of my prints to do. I've got so many. Even the one I spent the day working on, like that's not finished off yet, so it's getting there. I just need to kind of fix the arm a bit more, do the stubble, and then do the background, and it should be complete. And then maybe some lighting, but yeah, hopefully that should be. Oh, now that I remember, I actually went into my sketchbook, and there was a video that one of the people shared, and of course I can't remember exactly who, but it basically went over the 12 principles, so I've kind of written those down, and then in this space here I'm gonna kind of sketch in different ideas of like how I could do like the bouncing ball but add different things to it, and you know, do the pendulum but do a different thing with it, like just kind of look at that sort of stuff. Maybe do a few drawings of spiders, I suppose, because I did a spider one. But yeah, I think for now it's going to be a case of, yeah, because we have just kind of organizing and finishing off that page, and then that's probably pretty much everything I need to do for kind of this weekend, or want to do for this weekend I suppose, or want to have done for the project even. I think we're going to say that. But yes, so we have another Teams meeting, all-day Teams meeting on the Monday, which is going to be going over the staging layout and what we're going to be doing for our main project. Because the final week and I think the midweek are literally about just making this small little animation with our character. And this kind of week coming up is going to be about editing the character and making the character easier to animate. Yeah, the next time we have like a Teams meeting is like the end of not next week but the week after that. I think it might just be showing what we have to the class. I'm not entirely sure what that Teams meeting is for, I'll need to check. Might be a one-to-one thing for all I know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that Teams meeting is for, but I think the break is going to be fairly finished soon, so I'm going to get back to it and try and organise all my stuff. Because I've got a lot of things I need to organise and sort out and all the rest. But this weekend, oh, life drawing as well. I want to do a bit of life drawing. I might do some, maybe tonight I might do a few bits of life drawing, just because that's something they did mention that I should do, so I'm going to try every week to do something, even if it's just a little bit, and I'm just going to put it into this little kind of book that I mentioned before, because this already has some of the life drawing stuff in it anyway, so I'll just kind of add on to that a bit more. So I'll see you guys later. Okay, so can't remember if I filmed yesterday. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Okay, well, yesterday we had another call, Teams call for like the whole day. It wasn't for the whole day. I mean, we ended about like half 3 or something, which is pretty good. So for this point in the project, we have to basically get used to our characters and just draw our characters again. And one of the things I had to do was just like draw a character in different positions, draw it out again and again and again and again. So what I did was I just kind of that night started kind of drawing out Puka, so you can kind of see there just doing a bunch of different stuff and trying to like get used to it. It's been like a month since I've drawn him, so a little bit sketchy at first, but I started kind of trying to get used to the construction sheets and stuff and trying to do that. So I've also been trying to figure out like how his ear would look up, so I'm going to do more of that, once I kind of figured that out, do a constructor sheet of just ears, look at maybe expressions and stuff, and then possibly do more general gestures, and then start looking at how he'd interact with the bouncing ball, because we have this starting frame, which basically is the ball starts here and then ends on the other side, and essentially it's just going to bounce, and we have the character interacting it in the middle. It doesn't matter like how fast it comes in, how slow it goes out, however you want to do it, like for speed wise, as long as it kind of ends at that moment there, that's essentially how it's going to work. So they can loop it all together. I'm hoping that they're gonna compile it into one video that we can all view separately, because the problem with Teams is that it's very, very laggy. And when you look at like a bouncing ball, it's like here, 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 here. Like it's just, the frames are just like one frame here, one frame there, frame there, frame there, frame there, frame there, frame there. But overall it looks just so, yeah, when it's supposed to be the smooth bouncing ball action, because it just lags so much. So yeah, that was my plan for tonight, is kind of work onto those and then show them on Friday, because we're back in studio on Friday, and then I meet up someone to go to the cafe beforehand. But yeah, so one thing I also did was I also worked back into the construction sheet. So this is just like the turnaround again, but I lined everything up a lot better and kind of organized it. I also did a from the back thing in case I needed it, because I'm planning on doing a couple positions of Puka from the back just in general to kind of draw it from the back, him from the back again. I think that was mostly it. The thing about the way the projects work is that you can self-plagiarize, which essentially means that you just put your own work forward that you've done before, essentially, which is kind of annoying. I think the main thing is so that people just don't use it as filler, because there's so much overlap with this in the animation block. It pretty much means that you have to be kind of careful. She said that this would be perfectly fine because I've done a bunch of changes to it, as long as I highlight the changes and where those have been made to kind of fit better and all that jazz, and in the additions, and then it should be fine. You shouldn't have to do anything else, which is good. So it means I'll be able to include this. I have to also be aware of the fact that now we're having a kind of portfolio we're having to put up. It's literally just re-uploading all the different PDFs that we have, which is fine. I still have them all, and my plan is, I didn't last time, but this time I'm going to go back into that first presentation again and try and get it sorted, because I think it's something that I can easily sort. I might do that, to be honest, just now and get a bunch of notes as to everything I need to do for it, so I can just kind of do all those things and then be done with it, or maybe just get it done tonight. But yeah, I don't know if it's everyone who's having to do it. It might be everyone, but I'm not entirely sure, because on the teams that we're on, it's only animation, illustration and graphic design, and I kind of knew this was coming. I was a bit like, you know, they did say that like usually what'll happen is they'll look through your work and stuff, but I didn't realize we'd have to re-upload it again, which is slightly annoying. At the same time, part of me is like, oh well, it means I can actually like get that first one changed, but I don't know, it's just a bit annoying because the deadline for it is apparently the 1st, but then the deadline for this project is the project for hand-in is the 2nd, which is a little concerning. It did say, oh, for this project when it's done, but it said it must be handed in, uploaded by the 1st. So it's like, so you know what I mean? Like, is it a case of everything else needs to be uploaded by then, and then you can upload that when you need to upload it, or that will be uploaded, like counted as uploaded when you upload your thing onto Blackboard? I don't know. I think someone did ask that question, so we'll see what that says later on, but that's something I also have to keep in mind. A lot of stuff to do. I'm definitely excited for this. I kind of have an idea of something that could happen, but I'm not entirely sure. Part of me thinks that I could do something with it, but just time-wise, I don't know. My plan is basically, you know, again, in my sketchbook, I'm gonna sketch out like how Puka can interact with the ball and all that sort of stuff, but yeah, I'll be working on that at some point. I'll probably pop back in on Friday and show you everything that I've done. But yeah, also, I got a bunch of iced tea stuff from the Premier Shop that's like in the Union, and I got this raspberry Lipton iced tea. Like, I got the raspberry one because I really enjoyed the raspberry Arizona one, so I'm interested to see if this is any good. It's good, it tastes like raspberries, it's so nice. Anyway, yeah, so I got this one. Then they also had Arizona iced tea. They did have them in the cans. I wonder how much is in one of these cans. Oh, actually, I don't know whether it'll be, I don't know, interesting. Or maybe that's a different measurement, because this will be like the American measurement, maybe. But I don't know, is milliliters different in America? Okay, well, let's have an investigation. I'll be back with the answer. I was looking at the serving size. I figured it out. So this was 680 milliliters, and then these bad boys are only 500 milliliters, which isn't bad. Like, it isn't a bad amount. I think for the price, this is definitely a lot cheaper, to be fair, than the ones I got there. So, but yeah, I got the Mucho Mango one, which I don't think I've had before. I got strawberry lemonade, which I don't think I've had before, and I also got original brand iced tea with peach flavor, which I think might just be the one that I've had before, but I'm not sure if this is different from the Georgia peach one, not sure. But anyway, I got these three. Well, 4 I gave with the 3 Arizona ones. I'm excited to try them all. This one's quite nice, to be honest, but I do think these are not the best for you, so I'll just sip on it every so often when I drink my other water. But anyhow, I will see you later. Alright, so hello, it is now Friday. So basically, I can't remember what I showed last time. Did I show these two? I think I did. Yeah, well, that's those. But basically, what I did after that was I did a page purely, I think you can see there, looking at ears and stuff like that, because that was one thing that was noted. Mainly my turnaround, which I will show, it's on here, because I redid it because the position of the ears are kind of off a little bit. Definitely not the easiest ears in the world, particularly because I don't really know. At first I was doing like a cat's ears, but then I changed it to this type of ear, or this type of looking ear, because it kind of fit the hat a little bit better, to sit the hat like on top of them. But the problem was that they're not really based off of anything, I don't think, and I can't really think of something that they're close enough based on for it to work, because a lot of other ears, like, they have that kind of ball, like, the only thing I think of was like a deer or horses, but they kind of have that ball on the bottom, which is not really the case for this ear. I mean, it kind of is, but also at the same time, it's like they normally sit like further up and they've got like a different shape, and the way they're positioned is not so the same. I don't know, I think I've figured it out well enough to the point that it looks good enough. And then I did this, which is basically a bunch of Puka interacting with the ball and how I could do it. So I have, let me think, basically the ones where it's just been hit by it. Because I did this one first, and then I was like, not much of a reaction kind of thing, and I was like, oh, maybe he falls over and that kind of thing. And then I was thinking, okay, well, how does it bounce off screen then? Does it just knock him over and that's it? I was thinking it could bounce like up and then bounce again, where it bounces on the shoulder and then moves off as a possibility. Then I was thinking about like removing the hat, so I was like, because I did some where it was like he didn't have a hat on, and I was like, oh. So I was like, okay, maybe the ball could hit the hat, bounce off, and then he catches it or something, or he could stop it with magic, because he has magic. And then I thought I could play about with it with magic, well, not maybe that one. Then he could, you know, like accidentally hit off to the side and that kind of thing. Like, so I kind of had a bunch of stuff that was kind of the very beginning with the introduction of the ball, and then the very kind of end where the ball goes off screen. I do have a little bit where it's like, oh, he plays about with the ball with magic, but I need to kind of think of exactly how he does that, you know what I mean? Whether it's a case of like he's bouncing it back and forth or holding it up or whatever. And then I just did some general like hands and stuff like that, hands, just kind of like how it would hold the ball sort of thing, like how it would work. Because I was thinking of possibly adding in the paw pads again, but the only real time that I kind of put the paw pads in there was like it's a close up of his hands kind of thing. So unfortunately, this time round we had another one of the lectures, because there's like 2 lectures, and we previously had only one in studio. But there was the other one, but I think my one kind of ended up being a bit slightly rushed. I feel like the last few of us were, because I think from overhearing other conversations and stuff like that, like she was definitely talking about like, oh, was there any inspirations for the specific animation, and a few other questions that I feel like she didn't ask me, and I don't know whether that's because she forgot to, or she didn't really have an issue with those things, or what. So either it's a case of like I'm doing quite well and there's no real issue at all, or it kind of ended up being sped up because I was like the last person. It was already 5 o'clock, which is the end of the lesson, so you know. But yeah, this is the updated turnaround. I decided to do a kind of back-facing one as well, because I thought that could be something to do in case you like spin around or something. Like, I don't really have that, so I decided to do one. And then the ears, I think, just look, oh, where you can see it, there we go. The ears just kind of look a little bit better. Like they hit the same point at the top, and they're kind of like thinning out a bit more, because obviously they look really wide from the front, but like when you actually turn, like even if something's like that, when you turn it, it kind of suddenly becomes thinner. So, and I don't imagine his ears being like triangle shaped, because originally I was thinking, oh, maybe it would be like this kind of shape, like this kind of shape for the sides. It like kind of thickens out towards the bottom, which it kind of already does, but like I feel like it adds an extra layer of complication. I'm like, I could push it more and like work with it more, but I think at this point I need to think about how it's going to be animated, and then if it becomes a problem I can deal with it then. So I also did some work, you know, with the ear and how it would look kind of like if it was fully standing up sort of thing, and then did turn around with that. Not the best, I will say, when it's like turned around, but I'm also possibly going to do one where it's like facing backwards as well, because I feel like that kind of does the range. I don't think it really needs more, just mainly backwards and forwards, or up really. And then also I kind of added this back bit to kind of show like the ear kind of comes in as well a bit, because I did try doing it where I literally just moved the ear, but it made it look really kind of weird. It still works, but it's also very, I don't know, it didn't really fit with what I had in mind for his ears, so that's that. I also did a few pieces of life drawing as well. I'm just going back into this because I kind of just want to be able to do really quick ones, so just in general kind of like life drawing stuff. So I'm going to do some more of that tonight, I think. Try and get through a good few of them, because I'm just using the poses that they have, that were like more of the poses that we did for semester block 1, not semester 1. So I'm planning on doing some of that this weekend. I want to try out giving Animate a go. I wasn't able to last weekend because I was doing a lot of video editing, And for the videos that I was editing, I might need to film a little bit as well, which is a little annoying because I don't know where the final presentation thing is gone. And that's from like a couple months ago, which is a little annoying that that's happened, but I'll do it if I have to do it. So I'm just hoping I haven't lost a ton of like the clothes making ones, because I did a bunch of like editing clothes and stuff like that, which you'll see like during summer, because they'll help kind of fill in the gap where I need to try and like start making new videos and also like using up all of my old ones as much as possible. So you'll probably see those in summer. Yeah, I hope I haven't watched them. But yeah, if I lost footage with that, I don't know what I'd do with that, to be honest. But then again, I don't think I really lost footage with my cakes or the other one. I might have lost like a little bit, but I don't think it was anything big from what I remember. But yeah, anyway, that was today. I think tonight, some more life drawing. I think I'm gonna work on decon stuff really quickly. I think I might work on business cards, because that's something I really need to get. I need to get new ones done. So I might work on that and see if I can get another print, at least the background for the print sorted. There's also another one that I have and I need to do the background for. So much stuff I need to do, but I'm kind of just steadily kind of working my way through it, and hopefully I should have a good chunk of it done for 3 weeks. Oh my god, decon so soon. This will probably come out after it, to be fair, but you know. Also I had this one, which was the Arizona strawberry lemonade one. Not my favorite, not my favorite. I think I want to try the peach one that I have. It's like green tea peach or something. I think it might be like this one. I might be wrong, but hopefully it's like this one, because this one was quite nice. I think I also tried the Lipton raspberry one, I can't remember now, but that one was really nice. That one was really nice. I know that, oh yeah, that's one thing as well. It was St. Patrick's Day yesterday, so it was a whole big thing with the union, and like, oh, I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh yeah, apparently someone was saying in the Discord, or yeah, I think it was in the Discord, where apparently there was like so few people in because like there were so many people who probably just went out on St. Patrick's Day and like were not coming in, and I was like, oof. I think, to be honest, for me, I'm paranoid about attendance right now, because animation is, there's so many people there, and like I'm nervous. Like I'm a little nervous because I do know that at the end of the day, like even though they do say they want to like have as many people in, I also know that this year there's quite a lot of people who want to do animation, which I mean makes sense, because in Scotland you can only do animation, I think in Edinburgh as well. Those are the only two ones that offer animation courses. Grays and Glasgow don't, apparently, which, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised by. Also at the same time not. Like, because I was like, why don't they do like an animation course, because surely they could actually then like have a lot more like students come to their school, or like be able to like have another section of their school or something. Like, I don't know whether funding comes into it or what. I don't know. You think maybe they do it because it is like such a popular thing, because only 2 schools do it, and if they did it, then probably their one would be fairly enough popular, because then only 3 did it. Like, they'd get in before the other one. But then I realized, like, when it comes to animation, there is a lot digitally, so they probably need like computers, tablets, all this other stuff. Not to say that you couldn't have a course where you literally did none of that, because you probably could have a course where it was literally all just like traditional animation, or like looking at like, yeah, just traditional animation, and just doing all that sort of stuff that's like, you can apply this to digital stuff, but you're gonna have to learn outside the school. Like, but then again, I suppose it's like also the materials, you'd still need a certain amount of materials to provide and all this other stuff. So I don't know, I just that's me rambling on about it. I'm just thinking, like, why don't they do it? I'm not sure. Maybe it's a space thing, because I remember one of the teachers for like craft design and graphic communication, I think was what it was called in our school, GraphCom. Yeah, he said like the only reason like they don't like offer certain things, like whether it be like hairdressing or whatever, I think hairdressing was the example he gave for some reason, was because they don't have like the materials and the space for it, otherwise they would do it. So I don't know whether it's a case of, because I'm not sure if he was talking about like graphic design or something at that point in time, but yeah, he was basically just saying like we don't have the space and we don't have the materials for it, so we don't offer it as a course. Because I do remember psychology for us, like it was I think it was like on a Wednesday, they would have someone come in lunchtime, and you'd have to like go there and be there and like have an hour or something. to like learn psychology or something. Like, I remember psychology being like a thing that you could do, but it was just a lot of extra steps and a lot of like if it was worth it to you then it'd be worth it. But I think I only remember that being a thing in like 5th year. I think they stopped it or something like that, or maybe they stopped it the year before we could do it, because I feel like I probably would have gone for it, but maybe I wouldn't have. I don't remember, but I remember that being a thing for our school in particular. But anyway, enough about me rambling. I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I think for tonight it's gonna be, you know, working on stuff, and then this weekend is gonna be trying to get something done on Animate, probably try and get the 2 videos that I said I was gonna do, and try and get through as many prints as possible before it really comes down to the starting the animation for next week. So we'll see you later. Oh, actually, maybe. Well, that's the thing, because I think on Monday we're in studio, so I don't know whether I want to try and get a little bit of the animation done beforehand, or if I want to just try and get my kind of storyboarding like sorted out and kind of go, okay, this is how I think it's gonna go, and then just kind of work on that like in thingy, and then do that night to bring in for Tuesday to say, hey, look at this. I don't know, I'll figure it out. I will show you if I've done anything over the weekend before I go to studio, probably on Sunday night, but I will see you probably Monday. Bye.